G'day fellow modelers, Mr. Handy back with another handy review for you. Fresh off the presses, we're going to take a look at Valiant Wings' brand new guide on the Messerschmitt Bf 109 for the enthusiast and modeler. These airframe and miniature books are absolutely fabulous. I really wish that they would start doing some modern stuff as well. But these are absolutely my other go-to with regards to stuff. I have a couple of go-tos, and that's the book that I keep with me and use for when I'm modeling and detailing stuff. And I have to say that Valiant Wing is definitely in the top 2 or 3. Detail and scale is definitely helpful. These guys kind of... they pass detail and scale because they provide so much more detail and in such a comprehensive book. But let's take a peek and see what joys this guide will have. So you get your, here's your index. They talk about the prototypes, BF 109A and B series. Then we get into the CD, EF, GH, camouflage markings and color profiles. Then we get into the modeling section. So they talk about the BF 110 kits, and then there's a building section, building a collection, not too sure what that's about. And then we get right into the details of the BF 110, and then we have our appendixes, which are the BF 110 kits, accessories, decals, and then a bibliography. And now what they've started to do is 48 scale. I thought it was 72nd scale for the longest time. Maybe I'm wrong. They've always had the scale plan foldouts, which is absolutely fabulous. And like I said, this is kind of why it tops detail and scale a bit, because of the scale pullouts, which is nice. So we get into Glossary of Terms in German, and then our preface. And we just get right into it. So, as always, with Valiant Wing, they have all this wonderful information. And as I said there, these books are so great. They are definitely worth the price. They've now re-released some of the ones that were harder to find. They re-released their HE219, and they've released their first volume of the Spitfire. And I'm hoping they re-release the second, and then I'm hoping they re-release their BF 109s as well, because those are now also impossible to find. So, lots of period pictures, lots of information, and then talk about foreign service, and then captured aircraft, and then they have some survivors that are around, and then we get into the actual evolution of the BF 109, or sorry, BF 110. My favorite are the Zerstors, of course. They're pretty cool, and then the Night Fighters as well. I'm sure that's everybody's favorites. We get into the evolution of the BF 110 or BF 110, and then we get into a G and H. And I've actually never heard of the G and H versions, which is interesting. This is kind of cool. Or these the Zerstors with these probably those almost look like they're 30mm cannons. Never heard of them, and it looks like some of them were also equipped with rockets as well. Interesting stuff. Just gives me another reason to pick up some more BF 110s. And so, of course, I knew about the G versions with regards to the Night Fighters, but I've never seen the ones with those cannons underneath. It's kind of cool. Now we get into Camouflage Markings. And as always with Valiant Wing, these are always really nice. Absolutely beautiful side views. And then we get into where the stenciling is. Again, this is another nice thing that Valiant Wing provides for you, is where all the stenciling would be on the aircraft. That's fabulous. And now we get into the kits, and there's a nice breakdown of the different variants, and then in scales, what the measurements would be. And of course, as always with Valiant Wings, they will do their breakups of kits that are out there and available in different scales. So we start with 72nd scale, and then we will just continue going on. And it's nice to see all the different all the different kits that are available. And we get, as it says, 48 scale now. .32, and then we get into the build section where they actually start building. So this one, of course, is one of Edward's Bf-110 G4 Night Fighter. And then we get into a 48 scale from Rebel. And 32nd scale by Rebel as well. And then we get into these wonderful lined illustrations of the different portions of, what's difference between each of the variants. And this is another nice thing about Valiant Wings and how they do this. They basically give you right from the beginning and then show you everything that's changed over the evolution of the Bf-110. So, and I really, really enjoy that. It's nice to see it, the progression. So, and then we get into the details. And again, the nice thing about Valiant Wings is that they kind of do a mixture of stuff. So you get these production drawings from that time, that era, and then you get these production photos from that time, and then they kind of mix it in. So it's a nice mixture of getting the illustrations, which I find that it's easier to follow the illustrations when you're detailing than it is to go by a picture of the interior. It's one of my things. So, but it's nice that they go through everything, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And then you get into these with the numbers, and they've actually given it to you in English, which is nice, because some companies will just give it to you right in German and not even bother to translate it. So, but again, it is so nice to see all of this extra detail. As I say, when it comes down to one-stop shop stuff, Valiant Wings is definitely worth the money. I think I paid $40 for this, and this is definitely worth it. I don't need that update with regards to models and everything, but it certainly is worth having all of this information so that when I go to build my kit and I want to, say, super detail the cockpit or do this or do that, everything that I need is basically right here in this volume. So, and that's what I look for. I mean, I don't want a book that gives me partial details of the cockpit and a whole history on the aircraft. I mean, this is definitely worth the money. It gives you the history. It gives you the different color variants that are out there, all the different variants that were there, illustrations of the variants, and then just, excuse me, just the different bits and pieces for detailing your model. And Valiant Wings, you will absolutely do a fabulous job on your books. Like I said, these are the go-to. This would be the go-to for me for the ME110 or the BF110. So we're going to take a look at some more of their stuff. I've done a couple of other reviews of their stuff. So these are definitely well worth the money books. So, and then we get into more of an appendix of all the model kits, it looks like. So we start off with 187th scale and lower, and then 167th to 172nd. This is kind of a new thing. I haven't really seen this in some of the other ones before, but it is interesting that they're going right into this and basically telling you everything. So it's nice to see this. And then the accessories too. They have done this before, and it's nice to see this. So all the bits and pieces that are out there, as well as decals. So as I said, this is your one-stop shop with regards to a BF110. And then they give you a nice bibliography. And some of this stuff is really good. Some of my other go-tos with regards to this are the Bunrindo, famous airplanes of the world. And then there's some of the other ones. They don't have them in here as illustrations, but I'm sure they're in here. There's the other Japanese ones on the different World War II aircraft that totally tear apart the aircraft and show you everything, very much like this. But again, if I were starting all over again, or if I were starting off, this would be the only thing that I would probably pick up for the BF110. So, and then of course the best part of it are these 1/72nd scale or 1/48 scale drawings, going from the top and the bottom as well. So just an absolutely beautiful book. Definitely worth the money. If you do not have this in your collection and you are a BF110 enthusiast, you should have this in your collection. It's definitely worth the money. So this just came out fresh off the print. Came out maybe a couple weeks ago. So get your copy as soon as you can. You can get them off of the actual site, Valiant Wings. Where do they have it on the back here? Probably not. Valiant Wings has their own site. I think it's valiantwings.com or something like that. But and you can get all of this stuff off of there. And you can also get this from most online modeling stores. And of course, you could probably order it in from your favorite local hobby store, your brick and mortar shops if possible. So again, thanks a lot for watching this review. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. We always are looking for stuff to review. Please like and subscribe. That helps us get around. And yeah, that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next. Happy modeling. Have a good one.